Today's episode is episode 6, iCal. And we're going to talk about how to use iCal today. So let's dive right on in. So as we talked about in the past, there's many ways to open up programs. iCal normally sits right here on your taskbar. We can click there to open it. We can go to Launchpad. We can use our gesture to bring up iCal from Launchpad. Whichever way you prefer. And if we remember from a previous episode, we can even use our friend Alfred to bring up iCal. So here is iCal. iCal is a nice calendar program. It works with iCloud so that you can have it sync with your iPad, iPod, iPhone seamlessly. Really nice program. We're going to talk about how it works. Just a couple of features. One, this is Lion, so we do have the option of making this a full screen feature. And we can see if we go up to the top, it will bring down our options to make some settings in the program. Again, there's preferences. We can kind of work our options of a 5-day week or a 7-day week. You can pick a default calendar here. So right now it's set to work. I've got 2 calendars. It actually comes up with these 2 calendars as a default. You can change them, but we're going to make it our home. And really that's about all. This accounts area here is, say you were using a Google calendar and you wanted to add that. Real simple, you can go right over here and you'll be able to get the information from Google and go ahead and add that calendar in. Well, let's get rid of that. Let's just dive right into the program. So here's the look. You've got a few options on the look of the calendar. You can take a day look. We can look at the week, month, or even have a yearly view. I prefer to work in the monthly view, looking at a month at a time. Now, a couple of neat things. If you go up to this corner here and you have a trackpad, you can do a 2-finger pull, and it gives you kind of the simulation of turning the pages. And if you go down to here, you can do the same thing. And you even have that ability to kind of, make it really look like a page turn. Pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit about how do we set up calendars. This plus is to make a quick event. So say I wanted to say that we're going to go to lunch at noon on November 30th. I can go ahead and punch that in, and you can see right away here it goes ahead and creates that. Since our default calendar was the home calendar, that's what it chose. So we have lunch at noon, and you see it also picks the 12 o'clock time, and it gives me by default a 1-hour zone. Now these are all editable. If we wanted to go in change that time here, we can click over here. Maybe we're going to have a 2-hour lunch. Let's make it 2. We can invite people to come. We can click here to send an invitation. We'll send an invite to you@me.com. Of course, that doesn't really exist. If you want to have an alert set up so that it'll tell you, remind you that this is coming up, you can have it give you a message, and you can pick the time, 15 minutes before, an hour before. You can have it send you an email. And I don't have my email set up on this computer. Or it can open a file for you, can run a script. It's lots of options. You can have it send you a message with sound, and you can even pick what sound you want it to give you. And so now here we have our invites showing up. Now we can look at that in the week view. Up here we can change our date to our next week. And there's our lunch at noon, November 30th. Now if we want to just condense that a bit, we can get the at noon November 30th actually. Oops, and go in here to edit that. We don't really need all that information in there. So we'll just get rid of that. Done. And there we have lunch. Now you can actually make edits right here. So say we decided, oh, that's really only an hour lunch. That's fine. Just make a movement there. Actually, it's going to be on Tuesday, though, not on Wednesday. You can easily move that. It's that simple to make changes. Now, if we go to the day, we can see we get this nice little list view, and it shows us what things are coming up in our list. So I've got lunch here on Monday the 12th. I've got a meeting with the boss, and there's a birthday party on December 14th at my home. So real easy to set up these lists to see things. Again, the week view, month view, and year view. If you're in the year view, you can tell what months you actually have, something going on. Simply click on that from the year view and see, there it is. So again, pick your view, whatever view you like the best, month. And let's talk about how to add calendars. To add a calendar, and remember we're in Lion, so we've got the ability to use the full screen view. So we're going to go up here and we go to File, and here's New Calendar. And this is where we can create a new calendar. Let's say we have a sports team like baseball, and you want to have a calendar for baseball. Well, there you go. We've got to set up a calendar for that. And you can see that we can assign each of these their own color, and the check mark means whether it'll show up on the calendar or not. So for instance, if we make a new, we can double click in here to set up a new event, practice, and we click again, double click to edit that, it'll bring that up. We can make all our changes here, and including changing it to the baseball color. Done. There we go. So now we just added a practice for a new calendar. Let's say we don't like that color for practice, that purple color. We can go pull up our calendars, and if we right click on baseball and we get this get info, we can bring that up here, and here's a list of colors that we can change it to. So maybe we want it to be yellow, and maybe you don't like any of the colors, so we can go over here to other and bring up a whole palette of colors, and you can choose any color that you can come up with on this palette. So maybe we want that really bright purple. That'll stick out. And we say OK, and now we can see that practice is turned to that color. And I don't know, I'm not so sure I like the color for work. I'm going to change that too. So again, we get our colors. I'm going to make that a real dark green. There we go. So again, customizable. Really is a nice, simple program, and I really like the look of it. I like how it works. I think that it gives you a lot of options for seeing what's going on. You can easily click here. You can share calendars so that if you want, you can have your wife can also have these calendars showing up on her iPod Touch or her iPhone. This way here the family stays in sync. So really simple program to use. Hope this gave you some information on iCal. Hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week for our next episode.